Today is new bike tire pump day at the Mostly Mike Show, and I'm going to do a quick review of the Topeak Joe Blow Sport 3 floor pump, as well as a performance comparison to my old pump. I bought this pump with my own hard-earned money, and I'll be comparing its performance to the ever-so-popular Aergun X1000, which I also paid for with my hard-earned money way back in 2015. This pump continues to serve me well, but I just wanted another pump around, you know. I heard really good things about the Joe Blow pumps and just had to try one. For current prices, click the Amazon store link in the description. Clicking this really helps this channel through small commissions that I earn from any purchase. The first thing I thought about when I heard the name Joe Blow is that don't we all know a guy named Joe who is a real blowhard and is all about inflation? And not the good type of inflation we're talking about here. You can enter your guesses on who this is in the comments for a chance to win a free lifetime subscription to this channel. Before we test the Joe Blow Sport 3's performance, allow me to go over some of its bold features. Now I know that most of you probably think like me and assume that Topeak stuff is made in Topeka, Kansas. But actually, it's all made in Taiwan. Not sure what town in Taiwan, but yeah. It's got a steel barrel, oversized ergonomic polymer handles, and a hardened steel base claiming to be extra stable. And who wouldn't want a more stable pump? The new hammer-type twin double doinker head is set up to work with Presta or Dunlop-style valves on one side, and if you're one of those Schrader people, the other side works with Schrader. But I don't think that you can use both sides at the same time, which sounds like it could be a lot of fun. I'm not sure what a Dunlop valve is. The hose pivots 360 degrees and is claimed to be extra long if size is your thing. Looks like I'll be comparing hose size with the Aergun X1000 to see which one of these pumps is suffering from air hose envy. Then there's the age-old dilemma of where exactly you measure from. And in these parts, we measure from the base. So the approximate maximum hose reach with the pump sitting on the ground is about roughly 3 feet, 37 inches-ish. 3/4 of a meter-ish. It says on Joe Blow's package it will work on mountain bikes or road bikes, which is a no-brainer. It'll probably even work on e-bikes and pump air in any country. Sakes. The Joe Blow also comes with 2 adapter fittings to facilitate the inflation of The Joe Blow holds its attachments right there by the gauge, and the Topeak holds them in this little bracket on its hose. Aside from that, there's a 3-inch easy-to-read analog gauge with a movable indicator arrow, which seems to be standard equipment on today's modern bike pumps. The Joe Blow pump maxes out at 160 psi, the same as the Aergun X1000, although the Aergun's gauge is just 2 inches, you know, in girth. And as an added bonus, the Topeak Joe Blow Sport 3 comes in the Mostly Mike Show color theme. Sometimes the weight of a product can determine its quality. Topeak Joe Blow weighs 3 pounds 14.8 ounces, and the Aergun X1000 weighs 2 pounds 9.2 ounces. So testing a hand pump and timing it to fill a tire from empty to a nominal PSI would be hard to accurately measure the performance. So after some contemplation, I came up with this concoction. We'll be using a nice big freaking gauge, a super accurate mirrored back temperature compensated Ashcroft test gauge. These are extremely accurate. We're in tenths of 1 PSI on this one. It only goes to 30. These are a little pricey, but I bought this thing in the name of science, and I will include the Amazon link. So I'm going to get some Teflon tape, and I'm going to put an air fitting on so we can mount it to the tank and get on with our test. I spare no expense when it comes to testing pumps. We'll empty this tank. Mostly Mike will take over from here. All the air is depleted from this tank. I'm gonna remove this and install our test gauge, which is at absolute 0. We're gonna start off with the Aergun X1000 pump, and this thing automatically detects Schrader or Presta. We got her hooked up. I'm going to take it to 10 psi, and we're going to count the strokes, full strokes. None of this half stroking stuff. We're going full. So here we go. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. "47, 48 strokes, and we're just over a hair over 10. Not too bad. 48 strokes. That's a 5-gallon air tank too, so there's that. So I'm going to unhook the gauge. We're going to discharge the tank. Still some air coming out. So you're not going to get this from a tire. Still air coming out. And we're empty. The gauge will tell if there is anything in there though. This is an extremely sensitive gauge. So let's plug in. Yeah, we're at 0. So now, get my Joe Blow here. Sport 3, and we'll hook it up to the Schrader. Okay, here we go, 10 PSI. "37, 38, so it took 10 less strokes to get it to 10 PSI. So that's considerable, what, about 20% roughly? And that concludes the test. So essentially, the Aergun X1000 took 48 strokes to achieve 10 PSI on this 5-gallon tank. And Joe Blow hit 10 PSI in just 38 strokes, which by my math is about 21% less than the Aergun X1000. 21% just happens to be the same percentage of atmosphere that oxygen takes up. Coincidence? I'll leave that one up to you, my little. So obviously, the Joe Blow is better quality. It's smoother, faster, and when I use it, I feel beautiful. The Aergun brand is still pretty good for its price point and will continue to serve me well as a field pump. The one feature that I like about the Aergun brand is that it automatically somehow hooks up to Schrader and Presta valves. Not sure how. Magic? All in all, both pumps are good in their own little ways, but I think that the Topeak Joe Blow Sport 3 is the better pump, all things considered. Like, share, and subscribe if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Wow, it is smooth. Way smoother than my old one.